Hi guys, welcome back to Battle with Ola. My name is Mujola Olua, and on this episode we want to do a live sample of Allocutus. We've talked about Allocutus. It's one of the earliest videos that I made on this channel. I made it in 2021. Please go watch that video on Allocutus. It explains what it is and how it is done. But we're going to do a series of live samples. I intend to do 4 in total at this period, using different offenses, different convictions for different offenses as samples for Allocutus. So I'm doing this, like I said, I've always said on the channel, what I do on the channel is mostly influenced by my law practice and what I go through daily as a lawyer. I was in court the other day and I saw the counsel to the defendant make an absolute mess of his client's allocutors. This was a senior lawyer, by the way, but I just felt that I could have done more for the client. It was not even, when you listen to that allocutors, you know that his art is not in it. His art is not in it. In fact, the court had to ask several questions, and at some point, the court had to warn him that whatever you do or say is going to affect your client, the life of your client directly. This person could go to jail. This person could get a sentence, just because of what you're saying at this point. So please. And then at some point, he tried to misrepresent what had happened in the matter to the court. The court had to ask him, because I was involved in the case, it was the one that had come from start to finish. So it wasn't a case of, oh, my junior told me so and so, or, the other person that held brief for me told me so and so. He only missed court once, all through the trial up to conviction. So misrepresenting facts at that point seemed a bit, I don't know, maybe careless or probably mischievous. The court had to ask him, are you sure that that's what has happened in this case? Then he had to now confer with the co-defendant's lawyer and then regularize his position before the court. So allocutors can make or mar a conviction or a sentence. It is usually done between conviction and sentencing. It's an opportunity, one last opportunity for the defendant to plead for leniency and to probably get a lesser or reduced sentence, or to, to palliate their case before the court. So it can be very crucial, very crucial. So we're going to attempt different types of allocutors in this series. It's going to be broken into 4 videos. Please watch all of them. There's a playlist for allocutors now, which is going to contain the first video we made in 2021, where we discussed it in detail, and then these 4 videos, and of course shorts that we make from these videos. We have a case of stealing before us. The accused has been convicted of stealing. It's a 22-year-old young man who's been accused of stealing drugs from a pharmacy and convicted. Now he's going to do an allocutors. Now note that courts are now moving away from the practice of having lawyers do allocutors. Now courts are more predisposed to having the defendant himself or herself make their own allocutors, which is the proper thing to do anyways. But if you happen to be in a court where the lawyer is allowed, I'm going to do it as a lawyer. And then if you are not a lawyer, you can also, readapt it to your own situation, or try to imagine that it's the defendant doing their own allocutors. Also, in some higher courts of record, oral allocutors is not allowed. So you're supposed to have filed ahead of time and then adopt it as if you're adopting a final address. You just adopt it and tell the court that this is your allocutors in the matter. The court should grant your client leniency. Very easy. So please take note of these things. Now this person, this 22-year-old young man, has been accused of stealing, and I'm going to make an allocutors for him as my client. Respectfully, my lord, standing before you this afternoon is our client, a very remorseful and a changed man. My lord, this young man is just 22 years old and has his life before him. The circumstances that resulted in the commission of the crime are very unfortunate, my lord. Being the only one fending for his family since his father and mother departed this world. He had just paid his school fees as a 400 level student of University of Lagos, my lord, studying industrial chemistry. My lord, Then his sister fell sick and he was pushed to the wall, not wanting to lose his only sister, whom he has fended for alongside their younger brother since the demise of their parents. He had no other option. Or, let me say, my lord, he was ill-advised, or he ill-advised himself into stealing drugs from the pharmacy to take care of his ailing sister. My lord, he has learnt his lessons and he now knows better. This was a moment of wrong judgment, and is completely remorseful and sorry for it. During the period of this trial, my lord, he has been incarcerated for about 11 months. And having seen what life behind bars really is, my lord, he is not desirous of going into that life. He has learnt the hard way and is deeply sorry, my lord. If given a second chance, my lord, he will never steal in his life again. My lord, he has personally told me that he has covenanted with God that should he steal again, God should take his life. He is deeply sorry, my lord. He has never done this kind of thing before. That was just a moment of poor judgment for which he is deeply remorseful. We are urging your lordship to please temper justice with mercy and grant him leniency as a first-time offender who is remorseful and who will never attempt to steal again or commit any other crime, as a matter of fact. We know that the court has discretion in sentencing, and we are urging your lordship to exercise this discretion in our client's favor. We are most grateful. That is a simple allocutus. Look at the things that you're playing to, the strengths of your client that you're playing to, the fact that he's a first-time offender, he's a young man, he has his life before him, he's the breadwinner of his family, the fact that it was a moment of poor judgment, he's never done it before, the fact that he has even been incarcerated for 11 months already, and that he has learnt his lessons behind bars. He has seen what life behind bars is. All of these things will be put in consideration for the judge to make a decision. Don't forget that if it's a crime which sentence has already been stipulated by law, the court cannot go outside of that stipulation. So discretion can only be exercised where it is permitted by law. I will see you in the very next video where we'll do another live sample of allocutus that you can use, or that you can that can help you easily understand what allocutus really is. Toodles.